Hi guys, I'm Beth. This is Remark. Today I'm going to talk about Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris. Hi there. I'm so excited to talk today about Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris. This is a brand new book in the thriller/suspense genre. It centers around a man whose girlfriend Layla had gone missing 12 years prior. Well, since then, time has passed. He has moved on and is now engaged to her sister, which is a little gross. It's a little creepy, I'm not gonna lie, a little gross. But, you know, it's been 12 years. It's been a dozen years. So I think he's had sufficient time to mourn and get past her. She's still missing all these years later. It's an unsolved crime. He is on the eve of marrying her sister named Ellen, but then all these suspicious clues start popping up that make him think that Layla is still alive and maybe she has come back for nefarious means. She's come back to get back at him, or she's come back to make sweet, sweet love to him. I think that one is his preference because even though she's been gone all this time, he's never really gotten over her. So while she is, I don't know, teasing out her return, she's leaving these little talismans in the form of Russian dolls all over the place for him to find. It was kind of neat. It made me want to get a set of Russian dolls myself, but I will say as the story went on, there were so many Russian dolls that it got to be a little much. Now, B.A. Paris is the author of a couple of other books, notably one which I've read is called Behind Closed Doors. And boy, oh boy, does that book really take things to extremes as far as thrilliness goes. It's a husband and wife, and the husband literally kidnaps his wife, keeps her prisoner, and then she still has to put on this brave face of a perfect marriage to everyone around her. It's really interesting. Really interesting concept, really interesting follow through, and it was so interestingly, I guess that's the word for today, so interestingly executed that I think it makes it difficult for B.A. Paris to live up to that same standard on books thereafter. I mean, the bar is already set so high, and so I saw her in Bring Me Back trying to reach that same level of thrilliness and almost trying a little too hard and still not quite getting there. So I give Bring Me Back 3 stars, and here's why. I give it 3 stars because it was an enjoyable read that I'm glad that I read. However, I'm not giving it the extra 2 stars because it seemed to really steep in its own head scratchiness for a bit too long. So, you know, I talked for a second about the Russian dolls, the proliferation of Russian dolls, and it seemed like through most of the book, our main character was just looking around like, oh, what is going on with all of these Russian dolls? Oh, look, there's another one. What's the deal with the Russian dolls? And it just got to the point that it was like, okay, I get it. I mean, you made me want to take a trip to Amazon and order some Russian dolls, but beyond that, I'm over it. Let's move past the damn dolls. But no, they played very heavily into it, and him thinking about the dolls and where they came from and puzzling through all the eventualities. It made the book maybe about twice as long as it needed to be because of just all the puzzling. And then, you know, when certain twists came, and it was a twist that I saw coming, that's okay. I don't need a thriller to completely shock me. If I see a twist coming, it's fine. It doesn't ruin the book for me. But in this case, I did see it coming, but then whenever it was revealed, they spent a good, you know, 5 or more pages explaining to the guy why the twist was so twisty. Like he spent a bunch of time during the twist going, but how can that be? What? Just over and over and over, and I'm like, come on, dude, I figured this out 100 pages ago, And he's, you know, super rich, super smart. He trades on the stock market so well that he has managed to set himself up for early retirement. So I would think that he has an intelligence level high enough to have figured this out without needing 5 or 10 pages of explanation. But he does. And then, okay, here's the thing. I've talked a little bit about the Scooby-Doo ending. It's a phrase I coined / misappropriated that explains an explanation ending. And so basically what that is the bad guy is caught and says, well, I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids, and then goes on and on and on this long soliloquy explaining everything he did, every step he made, every misstep everyone else made, basically explaining the entire story to us at length, while the story pretty much just stops. Like you can imagine Scooby-Doo and all the friends standing around just listening, and you know, this big adventurous chase they just had and all this suspense that they just lived in for the last half hour has completely stopped. It's come to a complete standstill because we've got to, you know, stand still for 5 to 10 more pages while they explain everything to us in great detail. And so after the twist and the explanation with that, after the Russian dolls and the explanation with that, comes the resolution, and then I swear that thing went on for at least 10 pages of explanation for that. And I know it was supposed to be a gut punch. I know it was supposed to be a what? A big shocker, but oh my goodness, there was just so much extrapolation, so much explanation, not enough room for me to actually think. It was more just, let me spoon feed this mystery that is supposed to be really intricate, but really it's not, because I'm going to spend more than half the book explaining it to you, kind of things. That made it kind of frustrating for me. You know, I don't want to dump all over the book. It was still an enjoyable read, and looking at the other reviews, there are several people who enjoyed it quite a bit. For me, it was just a little too, almost like the book was standing at a chalkboard and with the chalk and the pointer and explaining the mystery to me. And I'm not crazy about that. So enjoyable author, especially the fact that the name B.A. Paris makes me think of B.A. Baracus from the A-Team, and I instantly start humming the theme song dun 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 in my head. So that's a nice association, and I did enjoy Behind Closed Doors. This one was not my favorite. Bring Me Back was not quite a favorite for me. I will not be bringing it back onto my reading list anytime soon, but I'm still here for her. I'm still here for good old B.A., and so the next book she puts out, I'll be happy to read. And I hope that you guys enjoy this one more than I did. Okay, many thanks to NetGalley and to the publisher, St. Martin's Press, for supplying an advance copy of this book in return for an honest review, which obviously this was. And I will talk to you guys later. I've been really steeped in mysteries this month and thrillers, so maybe I'll have to do a couple of palette cleansers for future videos. All right, talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for joining. Bye.